Hello. It's Tarkan back with another video. How about that? So I'm going to talk today about briefly about a little concept that's actually very important to understand. I may have touched on this before. I can't honestly remember, but it's the concept of choosing the path of least resistance. That's a concept that Abraham Hicks talks about a lot. All right, Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, talks about a lot. But one that's very misunderstood or not used very often or not pondered very often, usually by beginners of law of attraction, of manifesting, people tend to want to push and work and take all these actions, which tends to drain your energy, which tends to pull you back on your path. It usually backfires because you're taking action most of the time from a place of being needy, desperate, frustrated, impatient about your desire coming to pass, and being impatient with the process. Okay, so you think, I got to do something, I better interfere. So usually what happens from that place is that you're taking action from a place of not being grounded, not being centered, not being in a place of, hey, I'm okay with the way things are, while reaching for more. I don't need the thing that I want. I'm okay and complete the way I am, but I'm reaching for it, okay? But first you got to calm down. You got to become grounded, and you got to get to a place where, your happiness and your feeling good is more important than getting the thing that you think is going to make you feel good. Because you'll understand eventually, as you get more badass with this stuff, you'll understand you don't need any of those things or those people in your life to feel good about yourself or to feel complete or whole. You just think oftentimes you use those things, those desires that you want, as stand-ins or as means to make yourself feel a certain way. If you can feel that way now, you will become a match to those things that you desire, and you'll draw them to you much faster and easier, okay? Without putting out too much effort. And that's why taking the path of least resistance is such an important concept to understand. So we tend to complicate these things, right? We tend to take action that's way over the top, especially when it comes to dating and relationships. All right. So just to kind of, sum up the whole idea of path of least resistance, the best way to do it is to describe it the way Abraham describes it, which is very simply, hey, look, if it's, 40 below outside, I don't know where you're living, where it's 40 below outside, but if it is, and you go outside, with a t-shirt on, right, or a little thin sweater, and you're freezing your butt off, the beginning manifestation student will go, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to visualize things getting warmer. I'm going to change the weather with my mind and the power of my mind. I'm going to manifest better weather. So I'll sit out here and freeze my butt off until the better weather comes. Okay, so first I got to sit here and I got to pretend that it's not cold and that I'm not uncomfortable and I'm not going to die from hypothermia. All right, so Abraham will ask the question, is that really the path of least resistance? In that moment, think about it. What's the path of least resistance in a situation like that? The path of least resistance is not to sit there and try to manifest warmer weather. The path of least resistance is to just go inside and get a coat. You see what I'm saying? So often the solutions that we look for are right there for us. They're just readily, easily available for us. All right, guys? I can't stress this enough because I get this a lot. And I used to do this a lot. I thought, oh, okay, so this law of attraction stuff, well, then I'm going to try to do this thing in the most complicated, roundabout way possible. And then I sit around frustrated going, why isn't anything happening? Because A, I'm taking that action out of a place of being frustrated and impatient. And B, I'm trying to, I'm not taking the path of least resistance. I'm taking the path of most resistance. All right. If you're outside freezing, go get a coat. If it's raining, don't try to manifest the clouds disappearing. I mean, you could do that if you really wanted to. If you made a game out of it and enjoyed the process, you could probably do that very easily. But most people don't do that. They're going to sit there very stubbornly and go, no, I will use the power of my mind to disperse the clouds. Go get an umbrella. That's the path of least resistance, because that's the easy way. All right. You don't want to effort too much with this stuff. That's not what law of attraction is about. That's your programming from a culture that teaches you that you don't have enough power in the world to influence the world. So you must influence the world through force. All right. Through action, through pushing, through manipulating, through convincing and conniving. All right. That's been taught to you by a culture that was built, a society that was built by powerless people, not powerful people. All right. Powerful people always choose the path of least resistance. okay? Because they understand that action isn't the thing that gets the thing done or gets them the thing that they want. Centering yourself, grounding yourself, all right? Feeling good, doing more things, speaking more things, thinking more things that feel good, calming yourself down, meditating, not focusing so much on how you don't have the thing that you want and how you'd be so much happier being over there rather than being over here, learning to become happier over here so that you can more easily move over there, or rather over there moves over here to where you are, you see. That's taking the path of least resistance. That's taking the path of least resistance. And that's what manifesting is all about. That's what wizards and witches do. I don't know, wizards and witches, it just sounds cool, doesn't it? So here's a little comment that I wanted to touch on just to kind of drive that point home a little bit more. And it's from Doug, who left this about a day ago, I see now. I took a couple of days break because sometimes too, you see, when I think to myself, I got to make more videos, I got to make more videos, I got to make more videos, even if in that moment I'm not feeling very inspired, even if that moment I'm kind of tired, or I'd rather be doing something else, when I push myself to do it, you know, I think the quality of the videos isn't as great as if I just kind of allow myself to do what I want to be doing in that moment. You know what? Today I'd rather do this. Today I'd rather think about that. And the video can wait until tomorrow. Or you know, and then I start getting inspirations and I start getting ideas about what to talk about. And I go, oh yeah, boom, you see. Instead of trying to force it and force ideas and sitting down and making those lists of pros and and brainstorming. Now, I'm not against those things. I think brainstorming is fantastic, all right? But don't use it, again, don't use it from a place of I need to do this thing or everything's going to collapse or I'm a POS or whatever the hell it is, okay? Because those are your resistant voices. That's your ego that's been trained to criticize you all the time. Now, you know, that's society. The media criticizes you from the time you're a kid, your teachers, the school system, okay? Commercials always telling you you're not good enough, all right? So we've all have this little tiny little critic in our brains all the time that's been placed there by this culture that we live in that's continuing to try to grab us by the BALLS, even if you don't have any of those, okay? They're trying to keep us down, trying to keep us away from understanding our own power, all right? Push, 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 work hard until you drop dead or you're 80, and then maybe you can enjoy 5 minutes of your life. No, we say no more to that, all right? We're creators, and the way we create is by centering ourselves. We become magnets. We imagine what it is that we want and we prefer. We learn to become okay with where we are because that's how it begins. That's the beginning of the process of manifesting, okay? But I'm getting sidetracked here. That's maybe for another video. So this is from Doug. Hello, sir. I really enjoyed your videos. Thank you, Doug. Just wanted your advice on a specific person. I was dating a woman for 7 years. 7 years. It's a long time. And we had a nice relationship. Well, about 4 months ago, we totally stopped talking over a text message. It was just a misunderstanding. You know, this is oftentimes text messages. It's so easy to misconstrue what's being said, and you're trying to joke and the other person doesn't quite understand the joke. I don't know specifically what the misunderstanding was. It's not really that important, but you know, communicating through voice is often preferable. Anyway, after 3 months or so of no contact at all, I decided to reach out and see if she was okay with all that has been going on. She said she was fine and was glad I was too, but that was it, and have not heard back from her. I really would like her back in my life. Any suggestions of how you would go about attracting her back? Would really appreciate your thoughts. Thanks, Doug. So, okay, thanks for the comment, Doug, first of all. And let me just point something out specifically here that I see right away, is that you contacted her to see if she was okay with all that has been going on. Now, Doug, a little tough love here, okay? Don't bullshit me, all right? You wanted to reach out because you felt that you weren't getting enough attention from her, and if you didn't do something, if you didn't take some kind of action, she was going to forget about you. It was all going to go down the drain. You needed to remind her that you were there, that you were present. So you took action from a place of being hyper aware that she wasn't in your life. And so that was taking a desperate action. And then you tried to fool yourself into justifying it by saying, I'm just checking to see if she's okay with everything. Now, I understand where you're coming from, okay? I'm not trying to be too brutal here with you, but I'm trying to point out something. This goes back to what I was saying earlier in the earlier part of the video, which is that, we tend to do this kind of thing. We tend to take action when we don't know what the process is unfolding for us, okay? And we sit around worrying about the other person isn't contacting us. Maybe they aren't thinking about us. Maybe they've moved on with somebody else. Maybe they're not attracted to me. It's over. I need to do something to be back on their radar, to be another blip on their radar. I need to get their attention so that I can feel justified. I can feel validated by them because I'm incapable right now of validating myself and of loving and appreciating myself. So I need other people to do it for me. That's not a creative place. That's not a place from which to create efficiently in your life. You need, and you replied to the comment where I said, the comment to the video where I said obsession is not love, which is the last video I uploaded, where I really stressed this point of why you need to become self-sufficient in giving yourself love and appreciation and respect and not relying on other people to do it for you. This is precisely why, because we're always hunting that little dopamine push. We're always hunting that little validation from people. And once they give it to us, we feel elated for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. All right. And then we want more. We want that next hit and that next hit. And it's just a drug. And you can do that for yourself, you see. You can massage your own ego. You don't need other people to massage your ego for you. And you don't need to sort of, manipulate them. And in this way, I think maybe inadvertently, I'm not saying you did that deliberately, but there is a part of you that's trying to manipulate the situation to move in your favor and in your direction. And it backfired. Okay, so taking action from a place of being desperate and thinking, oh my God, she's never going to talk to me. It's been 4 months and you're counting all the days and weeks and months since the last time she contacted you. And I better do something, but I need an excuse to contact her. So I'm going to check to see if she's okay. Hey, how's your pandemic going? I'm just seeing if you're okay with your pandemic. Is everything all right? Is your city burning? I'm just checking on you because I care about you so much. I just want you to think about me. I want it to be on your radar. Now, you can influence her in other ways. You can influence her by focusing on yourself, by feeling good about yourself. And then from that place of not needing to hear from her, not needing her validation, then you can think about her and send her love telepathically, okay, energetically, and then watch what happens. But do it from a place of not needing anything to happen. This is so important, guys. I can't stress this enough. You need to get to that place first, okay? You need to get to that place of being in that middle zone where the other end of the extreme end of the stick is I really, 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 really want this. And the other extreme end of the stick is I don't care at all about whether it happens or not, or I don't even want it at all, right? So you want to be in the middle of that kind of stick. You want to be right around here where it's, hey, I really want that thing. I really desire this, but I'm okay without it. I'm okay with where I am. And I know that from a place of being okay with where I am, I will manifest this very quickly and very efficiently, or in at least the very best divine timing, okay? I leave the process up to the universe. I leave the process up to God. And when I become centered and okay with myself, I will be prompted to take action. And I'll know that I'm being prompted to take action. And I'll know that it's enlightened action because it feels right. It feels like the next logical thing to do, okay? It's not something I don't have to debate myself about whether to do it or not. The thought will occur to you and you'll go, oh, I'll just send a text. Hey, how you been? How you been? I miss you. Okay, so that's the next thing I wanted to touch on in your email because in your comment, because you did contact her, and it sounds like you had kind of a sort of a little blasé interaction, like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. I'm okay. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm okay," and that was it. So what does that send that kind of message send, because, you know, it's sort of like saying hello, but just saying hello and seeing how you're doing and yeah, I'm fine. Well, that doesn't leave anything open for anything more, does it? That's kind of like the end of that little exchange. So you kind of left it, you closed it up right away again, okay? So that's why nothing happened, because you said, I want her back in my life. You need to begin with being honest with yourself, okay? So yes, you want her back in your life. So, but then you need to admit to yourself why you're contacting her. You're contacting her not to see if she's okay with the pandemic. You're contacting her, like I said, to be a blip on her radar again, to get her to not forget about you. But then the extra step is, hey, I want to have her back in my life. So what do you think the purpose of contacting her should be then? Should it be like, hey, how you doing? Okay. Oh, you're fine. Great. I'll check on you again in 4 months, see if you're fine again. No, since you're contacting her anyway, what would be the path of least resistance in that instance to getting her back in your life? Think about it for a minute. I'm going to give you a second, okay? Think about it. You're contacting her now and saying hello. You want her back in your life. What's the path of least resistance in that moment while you have her on text message to get her back in your life? That's right. Why didn't you ask her out? Why didn't you say, hey, I'd really love to see you. I really miss you. I'd really love to see you. When are you free to get together? And then you pick a time and place when she agrees. And if she doesn't agree, okay, you know what? If you change your mind, let me know. It was great talking to you. And then you go about your business and you go about your life and you go about loving yourself and appreciating yourself, and you wait until you hear back from her. Okay. This is the practical part of manifesting. All right. And I'm going to do more videos about this kind of stuff, because there's the sort of that spiritual part of, yes, get yourself centered and all this stuff I've talked about so far. But then there's the side of, well, you need to prepare yourself for them being back in your life. And one way you do that is you learn about communicating. You communicate better. You learn about going on dates. You do those things, learn about human relationships and psychology of human attraction, so you understand what you're doing. Right? And there's a lot of coaches out there that handle that specifically. But it's something I'm going to talk about more in future. But just for the purposes of this video and the topic of this video, I want to say in your comment here, one of the things that you want to do, is to avoid contacting her when you're feeling desperate. Okay? And if you are feeling desperate, do anything else, think about anything else but her. Okay? Go do something, get some exercise, watch a funny movie, get involved in some project, call a friend, go have some beers. Don't talk about her with your friends the whole night while you're having beers. Have fun, watch a game, yada, 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 yada. You can do 1,000 million billion things in that moment that doesn't involve contacting her out of desperation because you think you won't be validated and you want to feed your ego and stroke your ego for 5 minutes to get her to say hello to you. But you see, what happened was disappointment. What happened was it backfired because you didn't center yourself before. You took action from a place of desperation and not inspired action. When you make it about yourself for a while and you feel good for a while, and that's your only task, you make that your only task for a while of feeling good, feeling centered, not needing the thing so much, not thinking about her so much, not talking about her so much, suddenly you'll wake up and go, boom, oh, I should text her right now. I should text her right now. And what you would do in that moment, see, that's your inner being communicating with you. Now's the moment for you to do something. Now the next step is to be fulfilled by you texting her. Okay. And it'll just be calm. You won't have any nervousness about it. You'll just be like, oh, that's the next logical thing. It's kind of like going, well, I want a cup of coffee now. I'm going to go take a pee now. You're just going to know. It's like your body will tell you, your mind will tell you, your inner being will tell you and let you know this is the action to take right now. Okay. So that's what you want to do. And then from that place, if you do it from that place, what will occur to you is to go, oh, I want her back in my life. I'm texting her now to see how she's doing. Yeah, I'll do the little small talk. But then I'll go, hey, when are you free to get together? I really would love to see you. And that will be the next step that will facilitate you being back together with her and having her back in your life, you see. Okay? So remember, always ask yourself if you're going to take an action. Am I taking an action from a place of desperation or am I centered right now? And B, is this action I'm going to take the path of least resistance? And I hope that this video has cleared up what that means for you, okay? And has made it easier for you to determine that in the future for yourself. All right, guys, so thank you, Doug, for that comment. I'm going to sign off with this one. If you like this video, guys, and you haven't subscribed, please do so now. If you want to leave me a donation, please, you can do that as well down below. We got links in the description box for that. If you want coaching, there's links for that as well. So please also hit the notification bell if you are subscribing so that you know when I have new videos coming up. And hit like and leave a comment and share this video or any of my videos with anyone you think might benefit from them. All right, guys. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, this is Tarkan. I wish you happy manifesting and bye-bye.